years ago, we stayed at the Newport Marina, and it's very rocky and rolly, and it's over here to our starboard. Horrible thing. We saw the first one and heard the sound and saw the flames, and we just saw the second one.
I'm gonna tell you. Tell me if you're ready. Did you see that movie Swordfish, Howard?
At the scene, we should tell you that approximately 40,000 people work in the World Trade Centers between the two towers. Each building 110 stories tall. And joining us now on the phone again is John McLennan. He works at 200.
Homicide Captain Jack.
And has witnessed some of this unfold.
As we, just before 9 o'clock, ladies and gentlemen. Hello? Hello? John, you still with us?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Just before 9 o'clock this morning, an unbelievable event happened, catastrophic event. A plane crashed into the World Trade Center Tower number 1. Not more than 3 minutes ago, a second explosion happened at Tower number 2. We're being told that it could have been another plane, although what we saw was just an explosion. And again, Michael, you said 40,000 people work at World Trade Center. Unbelievable, unbelievable. We're efforting. Reporters on the scene are trying to get down there. Marcella Palmer, namely, as many others of you have called in and heading down there. We're trying to get people who have been eyewitnesses to this to call us so that we can hear what they know and what they've seen. We're hearing that it could have been a Boeing 737 or an Airbus from one of our witnesses.
So it was 2 planes? So you think it was 2 planes?
They're not sure. On the second World Trade Center tower.
They don't know.
But if it was one of those size planes, those are huge jets.
We have no confirmation on the injuries, as Lisa mentioned. We have no knowledge as to how many people involved. However, our producers are telling us now that we do have some videotape of the second plane, and you can see it there.
Where? I didn't see it. Oh, whoa.
We're under attack.
Going into the building.
From our vantage point, yeah, clearly difficult to tell.
We're under attack.
What type of plane that is, but it's a horrific scene. And
all right, we've just been told also, Michael, sorry, the New York Stock Exchange is being evacuated, as is, I'm sure, much of Wall Street, if not all of it, as much as possible. But the New York Stock Exchange has suspended trading for the moment.
It's war. Come on.
Everyone tries to get out
we gotta
of the area.
This is Pearl Harbor.
Right, we gotta go bomb everything over there.
We got to bomb the hell out of them. You know who it is. I can't say, but I know who it is.
As soon as we get
That's crazy.
This is more upsetting than me not getting Pam Anderson. What is that, Tom?
there it is. Yep, I see it.
clearly
Boom.
Yeah.
going into
What are you saying, Tom?
I've never seen anything like, obviously.
Me neither.
Nobody's ever seen anything like that.
Oh my God.
But it's a suicide mission.
Yes, suicide mission.
They're doing it over here now.
We can't put words in the FAA's mouth or any flight.
I know who's doing it.
Our information.
There's no way a 737 would do that.
And at all as to what type of plane and what carrier may be involved.
Well, we did not have that as of yet, Michael. Unfortunately, we were unable to see
The attacks occurred 18 minutes apart.
Is right now talking with air traffic control. We're trying to determine what exactly happened here, what type of plane, to be exact, was involved here, as well as the carrier involved.
We're showing people again that videotape that was shot just moments ago of that second plane making impact into the second of the trade centers. Again, both 110 stories tall, 40,000 people working between them.
Dominic is on the phone. He's
Howard, hey, I'm down on West 4th Street. We heard the first explosion. We went outside. We're watching the smoke come out. There's a hole in the side of the building. All of a sudden, maybe, I don't know, 10 minutes later, there was another plane flying around, and that disappeared into the building also, and you had like a third explosion after that.
How big did that plane look?
The second plane was a decent-sized plane. It looked like it would hold maybe 50, 60 people.
Really?
Yeah, let me tell you something. Look, we're looking on TV, and the World Trade Center is so big that it looks like a tiny plane.
Here. You couldn't even believe the sight. I mean, I've never seen anything like this before. We heard the first explosion. It rocked my friend's apartment, and he lives West 4th Street, and that's downtown, and we could see the Twin Towers right from here. There's smoke billowing out of the side of the building. There's a hole in the side. Then we saw the other plane flying. Anybody else that's out there listening now that's working at New York City landmarks, take my word, be on the lookout right now, because these guys, they like to do these in multiple numbers.
There could be more coming in.
That other bombing, they're going to bomb a whole bunch of sites. Make sure everybody takes watch. And you see any cowheads.
Howard.
The Air Force is stunned. What?
On a more serious note, you're a big pussy. You didn't touch Pamela Anderson?
No, we're back on that. Dude, I'm telling you.
We can talk about that anytime.
Yeah, you can back on me tomorrow. I'm in the middle of organizing a military action. Thank you.
Like, how do you combat this stuff?
Oh, you know how. Reagan stopped them.
No, but I'm saying, I mean,
You go in there and you teach them a lesson.
We know where these people are.
Yeah.
Know exactly where they are. We need to send some cruise missiles over there right now and just start bombing the hell out of them.
Hey, Howard. They tried to get Bin Laden.
At that location.
All right, so what do you think about that height? When it was very low, considering that it was a commercial line, if this was not a corporate jet with the engine in the back, it had two engines, one on each wing. It seems to be the size either of a 37 or 67. I couldn't tell, 737 or 7 because you know all those pilot questions there. Well, one of the things that we know is there's a VFR power there, and so everything from 1,100 feet down to the surface is legal. It's legal for him to fly through there without getting clearance to really talking to anyone, although he should be on 123.05 and talk to other airplanes and let them know where he is. The point is that it's legal to fly there. We have a lot of freedom to fly in this country. And so, just from the north, they would have been able to steadily descend from a higher altitude to come down low enough to look at the World Trade Center or any other building. That was
There goes somebody in a sailboat.
They said they're evacuating Washington, D.C.
They did?
Yeah. That's what that other program said, yeah. But you would think we'd be on red alert. Are you getting any cell phones?
Posted on that. I just needed to add one other note here. When the first explosion occurred...
Oh, yeah. They were in here yesterday when we came in. Yeah.
And it's not exactly what we know. We just have learned that a senior government official is saying that the FBI is looking into the possibility that one or both of these planes that crashed into each of the towers of the World Trade Center within the last 45 minutes may have been the result of a suicide mission.
According to the witnesses we've been speaking with since the first explosion at about 8:45, these look like large planes, commercial planes. One witness who knows the air pattern says it probably came from LaGuardia. Let's get more information. We have an eyewitness speaking with us. Dan Rosenbaum is on the line, and we don't know where you were at the time of the crash. Talk to us. I was on the Brooklyn Heights Promenade looking at the World Trade Center. I saw the second plane crash into the tower. It approached from the south. Somewhere, it looks like about the 50s or they're filled with people, stunned, scared, frightened, crying, staring upward at this ominous, dark, horrible symbol in the sky. The two towers are flaming, both of them. The flames are racing up the side of the building, bright orange. The smoke sort of shimmies up the side of the
continue to speak with him. Now I think we have Kelly.
WCBS producer Kelly Edwards joining us live. Kelly?
Jeff, I'm standing on 7th Avenue South, just about 15 blocks north of the World Trade Center. Both of the buildings have smoke pouring out of them. The north building, the first one hit, has a seam going from one side to the other. It looks like if this tower were leaning over, the entire top would break right off. When the second plane hit, it hit from the south. Witnesses who saw it said it looked like a commercial airliner. It hit from the south. We couldn't see it exactly hit, but from the front, from the north, it was a giant ball of white smoke, flames, and a lot of sparks. It sounded like a giant light bulb breaking. People here on the street,
We've been talking with the folks over at the Peterborough Tower, and the word that they are using now is that the airspace, we're talking Newark and Kennedy and LaGuardia and Peterborough, the entire New York City airspace is going to be, in their words, sterilized, meaning that no one will be flying anywhere around this area for an undetermined period of time. Currently here at Ridgefield Park, New Jersey, and we've been talking to the tower there. We've been talking to the tower at the Peterborough Airport. Now, one other note, as part of a plan by the Port Authority, we have a full closing now of the inbound Holland and Lincoln tunnels. At this point, I don't know about the George Washington Bridge, but certainly the Holland and Lincoln tunnels are closed. No traffic allowed into Manhattan via the Holland or Lincoln. Again, DWP, I do not have anything further on that. There is some traffic coming out of Manhattan back up.
Comments live as best we can quickly here. What are you doing here? The federal government. Go to help the victims and their families.
So, as part of a plan by the Port Authority, we have a full closing now of the inbound Holland and Lincoln tunnels. At this point, I don't know about the George Washington Bridge, but certainly the Holland and Lincoln tunnels are closed. No traffic allowed into Manhattan via the Holland or Lincoln. Again, DWP, I do not have anything further on that. There is some traffic coming out of Manhattan back up.
Comments live as best we can quickly here. What are you doing here? The federal government. Go to help the victims and their families. And conduct a full-scale investigation. To hunt down and to find those folks who committed this act. Terrorism against our nation will not stand. And now if you join me in a moment of silence.
kidding.
Now is our reporter, Allison Keys. She is witnessing. Allison, are you there? I'm here. I'm at the corner of Broadway and Horrific scene. A horrific scene. Tell us about it. It's horrible here.
There goes the whole building. There she goes. The whole building.
Oh no.
The whole building.
Looks like the North Tower of the World Trade Center has just completely collapsed where the building once stood. There is nothing but smoke. There is smoke billowing, covering all the skyscrapers. Something happened within the past 20 or 30 seconds. We're hoping that the people who are outside are okay. That it's a tremendous building, one of the largest in the world, and it's just apparently coming down. We really wish we could tell you more.
It's called black now. Earlier on, when we first noticed the first plane crash into the first tower, it was a white billowing smoke. It is now a black steady smoke. The city looks like it is in ruins from the vantage point of where the tower just crashed into lower Manhattan.
The smoke that is surrounding the World Trade Center and billowing out in the blocks around. If you take a panoramic view of the city, it looks as if there were dark, dirty clouds fully enveloping all the skyscrapers. And presumably that smoke is being breathed by the thousands of people who are streaming out of the buildings and hopefully can get out of the area.
They've been trying. The streets are crowded. People are panicking. They're lining up to borrow phones because they can't use their cell phones. And there is probably likely to be a bit of panic in lower Manhattan.
I don't have it in the past moment, and we wish we could tell you more about the situation with the North Tower, which has been on fire. WCBS Chopper 880, Tom Kaminsky, we hope we have good reception. Please tell us what you're hearing.
Well, we are hearing exactly what you are hearing, Jeff, and as I heard you mention that, I looked over from our vantage point in Richmond, which is quite a ways away from that area, saw a billowing of smoke in that area of Tower number 2 that we had not seen previously, and it would certainly appear
The World Trade Center simply collapsed like something you would see in a video of a stadium being blown up by dynamite. We don't know why.
Kelly Edwards.
Are you watching that guy right at the Trade Center live with the hand? We're going over there today, that's for sure.
down the West Side Highway. There were folks who were watching through binoculars when they just saw a huge explosion in the corner of the South Tower and then just debris flying. Now, understand from Chuck Spears, you
Do you hear that they're evacuating?
Just about enough for you to see the sky. There is an inch of dust or dirt on the ground. People are walking down the street coughing. Everybody is covered with soot. I have not seen that many injured people, but frankly, I haven't had a nerve to go too much back near that building. It was a really terrifying scene. We were all standing watching people come out of the building fairly calmly. when all of a sudden there was a huge rumbling and everybody turned around and ran for their lives. You could hear the building falling behind you, and the street and the dirt from the building was like a giant cloud machine. It was like being in the middle of the nuclear war. I was standing in the middle of the street. You couldn't see. There was so much dirt. Wheels falling all over that. Prior to that, as the top of the building was burning, there were bodies falling from the building. It was a horrible thing. The band people sitting in chairs around there, so, you know, and I was standing there and saw the thing go up. I heard it. So I ran like everyone, but I looked so quick to breathe, so I backed off a little bit and tried to get the stuff out. And after a while, it stopped coming down, and there was EMS, it's like asbestos or like, it's sand, it's like sand, it's like one of the deserts.
Well, we're thinking that this whole building came down and had...
Oh no.
There goes the power. There goes the city. From the bow of our boat, this is the New Jersey skyline, and then we pan over to where the World Trade Centers were last night and are gone today. That's where the two World Trade Center towers used to stand. And then building number 7 was right over there. They have all collapsed in. And over here, you can see 2 other buildings where all the windows have exploded out of them and the rest of it. And of course the smoke from the fires still go. The news media said that the rubble of the Trade Center buildings are 15 stories high. And yet some of the other buildings, this would be on the New Jersey side here, but you can see the lights coming on the other buildings. We only have one television station, that's the CBS, because it's on the Empire State Building. All of the cell phones, all the TV towers, and all of the FM radio stations were on the World Trade Center, so they were all knocked out. You can see down past the Trade Center how the buildings are still going and lit up, although they have all of the Manhattan is closed off. Police helicopters are around. We tried to help as much as we could today because a lot of the people were brought across the Hudson River here to this marina and Liberty State Park, where they had literally hundreds of ambulances and the rest of it to take them out. All we could really do was, we mainly handed out cups of cold water on trays to people as people stood and just shocked. As Kitty said, it reminded her of the homeless people somewhat. They were just in a daze. No injuries, but just in a mental daze of what had happened to them. We're in Liberty Landing Marina here.
This horrible thing started.